I'll refill it today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lessons and Learning and Readings with Larkin. I am Larkin, live to you here from the United States. There's my horse. Oh, there's Jasper behind me, and there's Tempe. Anyway, guys, you'll have to forgive me today. It is windy. Look at my hair. Oh my gosh. The barn is like a wind tunnel. So you're going to have to bear with me today while I have wind blown hair and things might go blowing across the screen. But I'm so excited to be with you all today. I did not bring my cards with me today, guys. I forgot. So on tomorrow's live at the same time, I will bring those really cool cards for you. But today, you're just going to have to deal with just me. And that's how it will be today. So welcome. Go ahead, and when you guys log on, if you want to let me know where you are watching from, that's so much fun to know where everybody is coming and joining us from today. I want to remind you, although I don't have incense and candles with me today because I'm at the barn, I always try to invite everyone. I've got 3 drinks. Invite everyone to bring a drink with them. I have 3. I have coffee, Coke, and Gatorade. But just to, get comfortable, to take an hour away from your lives, to leave everything at the door and just to join us. Welcome from Michigan, Cindy. Great to see you. I've been trying to do these broadcasts outside under the beautiful tree, but as I said, it's like 15 degrees cooler and windy today. So I'm in here to try to stay warm and try to find a comfortable place to sit and be really comfortable, just so you guys can all really enjoy this time. While we're waiting for everybody to log in, or if you're on the rebroadcast, welcome. I also want to share with you that if you want, if you have candles or incense or crystals or something, whatever makes you all comfortable and sets the ambiance for you to spend this hour trying to get out of your head and to be more present and conscious with us, that's what's really important for this hour, okay? That's where all this wonderful wisdom and guidance will be coming from. And if you guys can get yourself in that present place and say hello before you log on, get yourself sort of in your center, then you are going to be more open to receive today. Okay. I hope I don't have to put my sweatshirt on, guys, but I'm already getting pretty cold here. I want to, as I always do when we get started let me share this first while people are logging on. During this hour, hi Mel, welcome. During this hour, it's no holds barred. Okay, so anything that you guys want to ask or talk about that is metaphysical or spiritual or even paranormal that you have questions about, now is a great time to do that during this hour. I will try my best to get to as many people as possible. Hi, Casey, welcome. Good to see you. I will try to get to as many people as possible. There's only so much we can do in an hour. So I will just go where I am intuitively drawn to go. Okay. It's nothing personal. Please keep in mind, if I do not get to you today, there are so many wonderful people on here that Veronica hosts every week. Every day you can get on this page and find amazing readers. You can also find me down here on the banner on my Facebook page as well, or at larkinsreadings.com. Okay. So you're never forgotten or left out. Just like all the other readers, we try to get to as many people as we can. But have a little faith as well that, if your questions or requests are not met, that everything's always working out for you, right? So if you don't get that attention today, just know that it just wasn't the right time for you. Okay. And you will get, your response at just the perfect time for you. Okay. So I'm always asked to share some wisdom with you before we get started answering questions and doing readings. And today I was inspired and guided to talk to you for a few moments about not caring about other people's opinions. Okay. And this reminder came to me just through personal experience. I have a tendency to take on too much in my life. I push myself. I will do things despite how little sleep I may get. I always want to say yes and help everyone. And this has a tendency to stretch me too thin. And then eventually it always catches up with you. Hold on one moment, please. It is not time to go out. Back up, please. Thanks. Sorry, guys. I know that's your fun there, but she doesn't have a permanent gate on there, and I don't want her to break the locks. She thinks it's time to go out, and she's got an hour or two still. But there's a lot of pressure then, right? Because eventually it catches up with you. And eventually, you end up missing things. Like I pushed back the prayer sphere until July. And so, hi, Allison, welcome. So it's very important that we keep in mind that we stay in our center. We have to stay focused. Sometimes we have to make choices or decisions that we made out of our own consequence because maybe we didn't make the best choices. Sometimes we just have to make choices to be able to continue to function and do what's best for us, right? Which for me, sometimes that means me catching up on sleep because I've overextended myself. Whatever the reason is, hi, Jasper, whatever the reason may be, Rye, if you could hold on just a moment, please. If you listen, what we're doing right now is we're doing some wisdom first. And I ask everyone to please say hello and introduce themselves before asking for readings so that you can get in a better place of receiving. Okay. So right now, Rye, if you get on and observe what we're doing, we're sharing some wisdom. And then we'll get into the questions you guys have. Okay. Anyway, so I think it's, the wisdom from Spirit today for you guys is to, learn to not care so much about other people's opinions. It doesn't mean that you don't respect their preferences, that there aren't times to ask for that. But what it does mean is that if you are putting extended pressure on yourself and it's causing you a lot of stress and anxiety, what is the message behind that? What is what are the road signs saying to you? Maybe it's saying, in my case, hey, you're overextending yourself and you wouldn't be in this position if you learned how to say no better, right? Put your priorities in order. Maybe for other people, it's simply, they identify with other people's opinions of themselves. But the truth is that everyone has opinions. Hi, Bernadette. Everyone will always have opinions. And, they're entitled to those opinions. However, it doesn't have to be the deciding factor in how you feel about yourself or in the stress level that you have that day. Okay. And so if you can just sort of remember that everyone has opinions. Okay. They're like noses. We all have them. But it doesn't mean that you have to allow other people's opinions to run your life, because guess what? Everyone else is also feels pressured and influenced by other people's opinions. And you can respect those, but it doesn't have to be the driving force behind how you feel that day or, how your day turns out. And this is really important, which is another reason why I invite you guys to practice this when you get on here. I see this happen all the time. People get on to they want live free readings, and they get on and they just bombard the reader with questions. And what they miss is that if you come from a place of being anxious or needing or wanting, you want answers from this reader and then that reader and then this person and then that person, what are you actually doing with that information? Are you in a place where you can receive it? Are you in a place where you might hear the words, but you're not really doing anything with it? Are you looking for the same answers or different answers all the time because are you doing your part? So just remember that you are a part of your spirit team, and you are here in this world right now, and you are an active participant, and you need to make sure that you're not always just sitting back passively waiting to be guided and told what to do. What have you done with the information that you've already been given? How are you making practical choices that you can apply in a practical way in your life? And what are the messages that are coming your way? Are you picking up on what those messages actually are? Because you're going to be the deciding factor. Okay. So thank you all for listening. I hope that that makes sense. Oh, you're welcome, Rye. You maybe haven't been here before. I just do things a little bit differently. I like to get a sort of a slow start so that people can settle in and relax, because what I get is I get a sense of, I get bombarded with franticness when I get on these lives, because everyone is coming in sort of frantic and wanting and needing something. Hello, Ward. Hi, Mel. Welcome. Thank you, Mel. They are gorgeous. This is only 2 out of 4, and there's 6 other beautiful horses in the barn as well. But, I want you guys to be able to slow your brain waves and calm your nervous system some, because it will make such a big difference into the questions that you ask and to the answers and guidance that you receive. And I don't see a lot of readers doing that. And so I want to make sure that at least here with me for this hour, that you guys take that time to just see there's can be a different outcome on the other side of all of this. Okay. Welcome. Yay. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad that this resonated with you. So glad. I appreciate all of you too. All right. KZ, welcome. Let's see. This is a good question. Larkin, depending on how we live our life here, does it affect when we die, what level we go to in spirit, or will we go to the same place? All go to the same place. Wow, what a beautiful question. I love this question, Casey. This is very powerful. And I want to remind you guys that I do have an Awakening Your Intuition group where we discuss this very thing every week for an hour. It's a mastermind. It's a very low-cost mastermind. And I'm going to be offering 1 free month for new participants. But we get into a discussion of these very types of things, as well as helping you to establish confidence in your own intuitive abilities. Okay, so if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can talk to you about that. These are for people that really want to develop their confidence in their abilities. Okay, I hate to have to put a sweatshirt on, guys, but it is like really cold here. Okay. So I'm going to give you like the short answer. This could be a very long discussion, and it's a brilliant question, KZ. So you have free will. So when you come into this world, you have a choice as to when you come and when you leave this world. And it does often shift. I find it for a lot of people, they'll make a shift during their lifetime, and they make a different choice, and it's all in perfect timing. Okay. So yes and no. You guys often hear me say yes and no. Yes, it does affect when, because of our own choices, right? That's still a choice of our own free will. So I wouldn't say so much the how, Casey, as the how would only change what you decided if you changed your mind in things, right? Based on the factors and because that really is your free will choice. Okay. As far as what level, what a great question. When you are here, sometimes you will be learning life lessons and elevating that frequency so that you might be at a plateau where you're going to be making a quantum leap on a soul level, in which case then you would make a tremendous vibrational shift, which could increase your level or your frequency of the where. But you got to understand that outside of this world, the where is really more of a frequency thing. Okay. It would be like walking into a kindergarten class as a kindergarten. Let's say you walk into a kindergartner class of 5-year-olds when you're 3 or 4. Your mom put you into kindergarten early, and you go to kindergarten as a 4-year-old. your perspective would be very different than those kindergartners going in at age 5 or 6, right? Well, the same thing happens here. You would be still returning to that non-physical heavenly plane, but are you going as a 4 and 5-year-old, or are you going as a 6-year-old, right? So your perspective is going to be different at age 4 than age 6 going to kindergarten, but the kindergarten room is still the same, right? The same thing would be true if, let's say, when you were in elementary school, then you went back and you visited that kindergarten room. How would that seem, right? It would, again, be different because you were at a different conscious level, right? A different awareness. And you knew more things. If you return to that kindergarten classroom in junior high or high school or college, each time you return to that kindergarten classroom, it's going to be a totally different experience for you, isn't it? So it's sort of like that, because I'm relating to the grades to your vibrational frequency. Okay. One thing I will say, since I'm just keeping this very short, is a summary, but it's a very powerful question. And I think, if you don't mind, Casey, I'm writing a book about questions for before and after life here in this world, and I would love to use that question in my book. I think it's a fantastic question. We in this world look at things based on place and location, and we look at things based on level. On the other side, it's all frequency. Okay, it's all a level of consciousness. So, but it can take lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes to get to an entirely different level of heaven, right? A level of consciousness. And we can choose to stay in one realm or level as long as we choose. A lot of people return to the afterlife, which is also the before life, and they want to kind of live very much a life like they did here, with the same souls and the same soul family doing the same things that they love here. But then eventually, keep in mind, you guys have eternity, right? Eventually, they will often want to, they're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to go to the next level now. I'm ready for the next realm of my soul evolution. And so then they will often use these incarnations for that process. So I hope that answered your question. It's only scratching the iceberg on today's live, but that is a wonderful question. And I certainly hope that many of you enjoyed that and benefited from that conversation. Welcome, JD. Welcome. Let's see. Let me say hi to everybody here first. Catherine Johnston. Welcome. Jody. Welcome. All right. Let me work our way down here. Hello, Rachel. Guys, I also want to remind you that if you're interested in connecting with me further and I don't get to you today, my Facebook page is down there. So you can also connect with me. I have an angel, a private, semi-private small group reading called an Angel Party that's coming up on the 16th. I have a Meet Your Spirit Guides event. If you literally want to meet your spirit guides, they are all pinned to the top of my Larkin Psychic Medium page. Okay. I have an Awakening Your Intuition group mastermind for those of you that would like to get together and discuss this every week and learn about it. So there's a lot of other opportunities to connect if you want something deeper. Okay. There's also other amazing readers on FindMeAMedium. So if you guys want something more in depth, then you can take it to the next level and go beyond free readings and actually connect with a reader further. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what this says. Oh, sorry, Word. I was trying to hit on you here. Not hit on you. I was trying to hit on your comment. Okay. Yes, Jody, you may ask the question about the birth chart. Let me get to Word here for a second. You'll do my, will you do? Okay. Will you do your recap differently this time? Yes, I believe that you will, Ward. I do believe that you will. Do you, Ward, have you been working with thank you for sharing, Catherine. Have you been working with your spirit guides lately? They sure have been working very, very intently with you, especially one of them. And thank you, Bernadette. I'm glad that explanation was helpful. Let's see. Ward, have you been working, have you been sensing your spirit guides, or have you been intentionally trying to work with them more, channeling? Okay. So let's talk for a minute about channeling, guys. And don't forget, I'll be back on here tomorrow too at the same time. Okay. Let's talk for just a minute about channeling. Words get really weird. Words can really cause challenges for us because we can get really caught up in the words of things, guys. And our human mind gets sticky thinking, and we get caught up in definitions, and different readers and teachers and whatnot. People have different opinions, and they have different labels for things and meanings for these labels, right? So I think we have to be really careful. So typically people look at channeling as like someone sitting here and they sort of go into an unconscious state, and then they start verbalizing and channeling information that's coming out. Hi, Katie, welcome. Yes, a woman. Yes. Okay, well, I was going to get into your female spirit guide in just a minute, Ward. So that's awesome. What I find that I kind of want to broaden your guys' definition of channeling, because I know for me, like, even if you listen to like Eckhart Tolle or Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dr. Bernard Beckwith, Reverend Beckwith, they are in an essence channeling. I think the difference really is, I would say, is that a lot of times when we're channeling, we define that, or commercially it has been channeled as the person sort of becomes unconscious, and then whoever is channeling through sort of takes over the person, right? They're kind of like taking over the mind and body and the voice. I don't see it that way, because I feel like I'm channeling constantly. And I do it from a very conscious place. Dr. Wayne Dyer did this. I don't know that Eckhart Tolle realizes he's doing this, but if you listen to his presentations on mediums and psychics and channeling and that, you can tell that he confirms and understands that we can just bring through information. So for me, like, I feel like I channel right now. Every time I'm doing reading, I feel like I'm channeling the information from spirit guides, from source, from your angels. And I've always just done it from a very conscious place. And I actually prefer that because I'm able to interact and assess, and my cognitive self is able to interact at the same time and give you guys explanations, which I really thoroughly enjoy. I feel like I can participate in that more. So I think, yes, you are channeling information from them. I believe that. And you do have 3 spirit guides very strongly with you, Ward. And, the one that's been working the closest with you is a female spirit guide. That's a soul that was very close to you. She's been very close to you eternally. And just keep in mind, and guys, if you're interested in learning more of this, I still have some spaces in my Meet Your Spirit Guides event for the 29th of June, so that you guys can learn to interact with them more closely and actually meet them. But, this spirit guide is, they've all known you eternally, and she's working very, very closely with you. You're having very close, tight conversations with her. And I think that's going to pay off as you go through this process again. That leads me into something very powerful, though. Yeah, you feel like you're lovers. Yes. Because because there's such a soul connection there. There's such a soul connection there. My one spirit guide, Aiden, has always been my very best friend. He grew up with me. I knew him from the time I was like 2 years old. I remembered him, and he grew up with me like a child. And as I grew, he grew. And, I feel as closer to him than I do any person. And that's that soul connection that you're feeling, because when we have real soul connections, it's even better than being in love. It's that unconditional love, which is essentially what we're looking for when we want to be in love. Okay. It just has those added human qualities to it. Okay. I think that, there's so many comments I want to get to. I think I want to take off a Ward's question and inquiry, and I want to share with you guys something very important. I don't ever like to sound like I'm selling something, or I'm trying to get people to pay me for services or pay other readers for services. But I want to say this, okay? And I said this on the Angels in Action event today, because someone was asking about their spirit guides and was saying, I don't, it's just not happening. I'm not connecting with them. And I want to say this, and I sound a little stark when I say this, and maybe even a little bitchy when I say this, but I want to make this very clear. I see all the time, and I've seen this for years, whether it's mindset coaching or whether it's readings, people get on these lives and they want something for free and they want answers and they're stuck in a mindset. But the truth of the matter is, for everything that each and every one of you wants when you get on here, with any reader, with any live, there is your participation and your energy contribution that has to be made. It may not always be a financial contribution, but it has to be an energetic contribution. And that means that you cannot forget. I mean, Spirit is reminding me to share this with you so strongly. You cannot forget that if you're not getting what you want out of something, it is because there's an aspect of what you are doing. Welcome, Bev. Welcome, Melanie. There's an aspect of what you are doing that is missing something. Okay. You have to remember this is a process. So for you, Ward, you know, it's a process. Each time you go through the rehab process, just make the next level of improvements, right? You might not be able to make them all at once. It is a learning process. And Spirit wants me to share with you all today, everything is a process. Everything is a process. So if you feel like you're talking to your loved ones that have crossed over and you're not hearing back from them, they hear you. This is your process to be able to get to the right state of consciousness. It's always about your level of consciousness. Always, always, always. No matter what we're talking about, it's about your state of consciousness, okay? For receiving and connecting with them. If it's manifesting money, it's about your level of consciousness and getting in that state. If it's about falling in love or relationships, it's about getting into that state. If it's about physically, mentally, and emotionally healing, it's about getting into that level of consciousness. And it's always your process of learning and awakening. That is always the answer. It may come in a million different forms. For each of you, the content will be totally different. It will show up in different people, in different jobs, in different amounts of money, in different illnesses and physical and mental and emotional challenges. But it's always about your state of consciousness. And where are you in your process of your conscious evolution? Okay, just so you know. All right, let me get to some of these questions. Yes, everything is energy, Viv. Yes. Good motivation, Ward. You're welcome. I hope that helps. Let's see. Mel, I'm going to tag your thing about spirit guides because I want to get into that. Don't forget, guys, for those of you who just logged on, you know, have you signed up for my Meet Your Spirit Guides event yet? If you really want to meet your spirit guides, you know, this is what I was just saying. It's a process. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about healing? What are you doing about connecting to your loved ones? What are you doing about getting better sleep? What are you doing about wanting to talk to your spirit guides? Are you taking any different steps that will get you there? All right, let me scroll up. I'm just going where Spirit's guiding me, guys. I got a couple comments up here I wanted to get to. Spirit wants me to go as quickly as possible, guys. And I'm super thorough, so that's really hard for me. Okay. So, because these are free online readings, for me, my direction from Spirit is get to as many people and help them as possible. Then if they want something more in depth, they can take the next step and find a person they trust to either get a reading or do coaching or take that next level. Okay. Because part of this is up to you guys. And I want to help as many people as I can today. Can I ask, let's see. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. Can I ask if something stamped in birth chart can change or is it inevitable? Okay. So this is a great question. Nothing is set in stone, Jody. Nothing is set in stone. So I have done intuitive astrology for, gosh, almost 40 years since I was a kid. And I do not like the modern day Western world new agey promoted astrology very much because nothing is set in stone. So please do not look at your astrology chart as all of being a prediction. Look at it as a platform. Okay. So the birth chart itself cannot be changed. The blueprint itself cannot be changed, but the content that happens within that can always change because nothing is set in stone, right? So, the question is, have you learned about that birth chart, and have you learned what that means and how to use it? Have you become familiar enough with your own birth chart that you know how to use it in a productive and useful way for yourself and are using it as a tool? Or have you been told that things are predicted and set in stone? What I find that really irks me when it comes to birth charts and when it comes to people teaching astrology or giving astrology readings is that oftentimes they become uncoachable. It becomes very difficult to read for them because people they either get too sucked into Reiki's the other one. They get so sucked into Reiki or they get so sucked into astrology that everything is about that all of a sudden. Understand that astrology, Reiki, these are all avenues for us to understand or heal or work with things, but they are avenues for our temporary human mind to work with and connect with the other side and connect with energy. Okay, so when we get too caught up in one modality, it becomes very dangerous. Astrology is very powerful if you learn to understand it within yourself so that you can use it as a tool. If you're using it and you're caught up in, oh my God, that means this is going to happen, or this is what's in my chart and I'm stuck, then you are allowing it to run you, and you're allowing people that are reading in that way to run you. Okay. So what you need to really do is get to know what that means. Okay. So like I've always taught and used intuitive astrology. That meant I got to know just the aspect of my planets and things in my chart first, very powerfully. Don't get too caught up in the houses or what's happening every month or what they're telling you is going to happen. Because if you don't understand what your planet and your particular chart means in the first place, and you can't feel that intuitively internally, then honestly, you have no business wondering what aspects of your chart need to change. And that's just because, I can say this after doing it for almost 40 years. I'm so familiar with it. It would be like a doctor that went in to do surgery and you were trying to ask about the little tiny details of terms you didn't understand, right? You need to get to know what your basic chart means for you first before you get caught up in that, okay? And that's just my advice. You don't have to take it. As a highly sensitive person, how do I find my actual purpose? So again, here's a couple answers for you, Jody. Okay. And I don't mean to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, no pun intended. I'm just being as honest with you as I can, because I love to point out the snags I find in our belief systems when it comes to these types of questions. Okay. It's a process. I would love to just have spirit come through and tell me what your purpose is, but then it would mean nothing to you. You have to feel it from the inside out. You have a code that you have programmed within yourself that you brought with me, that you chose before you came into this world. Okay. And you need to feel what that is. At different points in your life, Jody, your purpose has felt different, and it will feel different because it has to feel like something different at different phases in your life in order for you to be aligning with what you need to be doing. Okay. So it will feel like whatever it is that needs to lead you to the next place you need to be. Okay. Your next set of interests. So it might not always seem like your life purpose feels like the same thing. All right. The other thing is, this is again, guys, you do not have to work with me. I am not trying to advertise or market myself. Spirit wants you guys to understand that as a human being, everything will be a process. That's one of the things you're here in this world for. So if you want to find your purpose, okay, you need to learn to be present, because your purpose isn't in chasing around the world and trying to find your purpose from the outside in. Your purpose will come as you remember who you are. As you remember who you are, because you've packaged the knowledge of why you're here in your cosmic memory. And if you don't remember who you are, Jody, how are you going to tap into that cosmic memory? Okay. So that means they want to go out. That means find something to, that means find a way to constructively find a process for you. Okay. Find a coach to work with, or find something consistently to do. Maybe you join an outdoor meditation group and you are consistently meditating, or you find a yoga class and you do that consistently, or you have a little spiritual meditation ritual that you do consistently every week, or you get a series of readings with a reader, or you join a mastermind or a group like my Awakening Your Intuition group, or many of these other wonderful groups that are out here. What you need to do is you need to pursue something that consistently resonates with you. Now, it might just be a yoga class a week, okay? But sitting around and thinking about it and wondering isn't going to help. Journaling, that could be something consistent. You have to actually pull it out of you. And I see that happening. That's what you're going to need to do, okay? And also, don't hang on too tightly to needing to find your life purpose, because you already brought it with you. You don't need to find it. It's just about remembering who you are. Okay. And you might not like that answer, but what you'll find is that the truest, most authentic answers are not going to come in the way that you expect them to. And you need to get out of your normal mode of thinking so that you can tap into the awareness that the answers come from. Because the answers that come in from the other side are not going to come in the way that your mind works. That's why you come to people like me. That's why you're on FindMeAMedium. You guys want answers from the other side. And that means you have to be receptive to receiving them in the way the other side delivers them. And that's not going to be your typical way of thinking. Okay. And I find most people get on and they expect to get answers in the same way that they sit down with a friend for lunch and they ask them a question and they get an answer. That's not how it is. If it was, you wouldn't be on this live, right? Okay. So hopefully that helps. If again, guys, I'm going to be offering a free month of July joining my Awakening Your Intuition mastermind. It is actually a paid mastermind, but it's to talk about these very things. You guys have to have a safe place to talk about and learn these things. So find someone that you trust and take this stuff to the next level. From Wales, Jody. I know you always tell me that, and I love it because I'm part Welsh. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Casey. I'm glad this is helping. All right. I'm just scrolling down, guys, to some of the messages that I, let's see. You struggle with what's me and what's them. Well, in truth, Jody, there is no separation. You are one and the same. So of course you're going to struggle with that. When you're not in this world, there is a connection there. So again, these are things I teach in my coaching. These are things that I teach in the Awakening Your Intuition program. This is why I tell people to journal, because until you learn to differentiate between your spirit guides and your angels and yourself, your own human cognitive mind and your higher intuition, you're going to be struggling with that. Okay. So the best way to get started with that on your own without doing anything else is to journal and to write these things and to do it consistently so you can start to see, what's your voice and what's their voice. And it takes consistent practice. Okay. This is very important. All right, let's see here. I love this, guys. Wow. I wish we were all doing an intuition mastermind right now, because these are really great questions. Okay, Mel, let's get to yours. Exciting. I met one of my guides in a visitation dream. Woohoo, that's awesome. We were in the house you grew up in. Yes, isn't that great? So often, guys, in either the astral plane, when you're dreaming, like loved ones, angels, spirit guides, they come to you in visitations. They'll often either take you a place that they want to share with you or show you, or they will oftentimes just give you an environment that you're already familiar and comfortable with, like the house you grew up in. That's fabulous. And you were really there. You were actually really there. Mel, that's so wonderful. Let's see. All right. Maria Hall. Let's see if Maria is still here. Maria, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here, please, Maria. I know you're responding, Jody. I'm scrolling down here. I'll get back to you. Just going through, guys, where they're showing me. Rye, I haven't forgotten about you. Let's see. Are you still here, Maria Hall? So you are, yay, awesome. Okay, Maria, more specifically, what are you wanting to know, Maria? I think, the your guides are they're there present with you. You have interactions with them. Messages that they often want to give you are things that are in alignment with what it is you're wanting. And it seems as though you're wanting more of that interaction, but it looks as though sometimes you miss the most practical guidance that they give you. So it looks like, they're wanting you to be able to get more clear about receiving from them. You seem to do a lot of sharing to them with questions that you have and wanting guidance, and you have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of enthusiasm, Maria. But what they're wanting you to be able to do is pick up on more of their practical guidance that they give you that isn't always maybe exciting, or it doesn't always have to do with the things you ask. They're trying to move you on more quickly to the type of interaction that you're wanting. But there are some frequencies that you need to practice tuning into. So again, that's practice, and it's a process. So they always give you very practical advice, and oftentimes it's coming in the form of, like when things happen that you don't necessarily like, or you don't want to have happening, you're missing those signs. And so they're wanting you to start there. They try to hop in and encourage you to pay attention to the signs of things that are happening that are things you don't necessarily want to be happening. Okay. Because you're focusing on other things. So they're showing me that you'll see things that happen that don't necessarily go your way as something kind of annoying or frustrating. And they want you to see those as signs and messages, right? So, for example, if there's a bleep in your day where something slows you down, or somebody doesn't get back to you, or something breaks and stops working, they want you to really look at what is the deeper message underneath that and ask yourself, okay, why is this trying to get my attention? What is it really telling me? Because they're saying there's a lesson for you in that. And that's when you normally don't hear them. They try to get you to take things a step deeper and take a look into what it is the message of the situation is giving you. Okay. And that's the next level that they want to be working with you on, because it's very practical, and they can help you through things more easily and more quickly in your life from that level. Okay. So that's very important, Maria. And, keep in touch with them. Again, guys, for those of you that weren't on when I shared it, if you want to find out more about Meet Your Spirit Guides, go to my Psychic Medium page listed here. I do have a few spaces left. But I would encourage finding someone to work with to take these things deeper, and you got to make these things consistent, Maria. Okay. So, if you're wanting to, for example, do what they just advised you, make that a habit for yourself for the week, right? Okay. I'm going to, really pay attention to the things I don't like and see what my spirit guides are trying to tell me. Okay. Cause that's where they really want to get your attention. Okay. Let's see here. Is there a link for your spirit? Yes. So do you see the little banner scrolling across the bottom, Jody? That is my Facebook page. Larkin Psychic Medium Spiritual Interpreter. I always put the events that are coming up. They are pinned to the top of that page, so you can find it. It's right there. I cannot comment on this page once I get off, because it's not my page and it messes up the algorithms. But if you find me on there, then you can get a hold of me, and you can see it's pinned to the top. Okay. That was the Spirit Guides idea. They asked me to do a Meet Your Spirit Guides event for people that were interested in learning to better connect with them and really actually meet them, okay, at their own level. So that's there for you. Let's see. I'm glad you appreciate it, and this was helpful, Jody, sorry. My friend Joni from the barn just left. Yes, it's in yellow. Hi, Michelle Graham. Welcome. Let's see. My free mini groups. Oh, yes. Awesome. Good to see you, Michelle. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Wait, hold on a second. Hi, Cindy. Let me scroll up, Rye, because I think I missed a few of your stuff there. Guys, I know I'm missing some of your comments. I don't mean to. Hi, Samantha. Welcome. I'll get to your question in a minute. Hello, Vanessa. All right. Hold on. I'm looking for your other comment, Rye. Oh, thank you so much. I've learned a little in general. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine, Jody. Just, keep going the process. I don't know what you mean by 4, but just, keep practicing and just keep pursuing that, okay? Just make sure you're doing your part. Very, very fun answering your awesome questions. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, Rye, I'm just trying to find one of your messages. It was a little farther up here. Okay. I have a philosophy. If whatever is for me, I don't need to hold on to. Just surrender and you'll actually attract what is meant for you. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. This is why Eckhart Tolle says, make sure to let go of the outcome. Okay. Toss it out there, take it lightheartedly, and then let go of the outcome. Okay. So let's see, Rye, I'm scrolling back down here to your other message. It looks like maybe you're working on not hanging on to a person. Let's see here. Sorry, Rye, I'm just looking for this. I was asked to go back to do yours. All right, let's see here. Sorry, this is taking me a minute, guys. Should I communicate with Calvin or just leave things be? Should I contact in 2 to 3 months again? I do love him and want to protect him and guide him, but something tells me to let go and leave it be instead so I can focus on myself instead. So a couple things there. That's a huge question, Rye. So number one, yes, I would leave things be. Here's the thing, guys. If people are meant to be with us, no matter what the details are, they will be with us. It does not matter if you believe they're your soulmate. It does not matter how much you love them. We are only aware of an infinity of dots. One little dot in an infinity of dots. And it is so important to trust that things are always working out for you, which I tell my coaching clients and my reading clients. Okay. But Spirit wants you guys to know that, the universe does have your back. And despite things not always going the way we want them to go, that does not mean they're not working out for us. Sometimes we come and we meet up with people that we love, we have a soul connection with eternally. That does not mean that we are meant to be with them our whole lives. And sometimes it means they will come and go in our lives when we least expect it. We don't ever know what's going on with the other person's soul. And we don't, sometimes what we think we want and how we imagine it would work out is not how it would be. And so it's very important that we have the ability to let go and trust and be open to receiving, because the universe, God, source, spirit always has what's best for us in mind. And oftentimes when we hang on, we cause ourselves and others a lot of agony and struggle. That is the mind resisting. Okay. So your intuition is correct, right? Let it go and have complete faith. Okay. You can love him. It's not your job to guide him. It's your job to hold space for those that you love. Okay. To protect him and to guide him, you can do just by holding space and loving, but you can't force that on someone, right? So leave it be. Now, let me allow Spirit to answer the focus on myself instead part. Okay. I'm going to be a little devil's advocate here. We live in a world that is really promoting the focus on myself. I did this as well when I was first teaching women's coaching and I was teaching them to build their businesses. There's a fatal flaw in that. Okay. There's a difference between being centered, getting in your center, and focusing where you need to be focused and focusing on yourself. It sounds all lovely when we say focus on ourselves, but that actually causes a lot of anxiety and depression and unhappiness. I would just reword that a little bit. Focus on your focus. Focus on where your soul is drawn, your alignment. It doesn't have to be so much on yourself as being. Just focus on being, getting in your center. Focus on learning to be present. Focusing on how you can be the best version of you. That really has so much different meaning than focusing on yourself. Okay. But you got it. Just keep trusting yourself and your intuition. Okay. You're doing a wonderful job, and you just need to stay focused on not getting distracted. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, guys. We've got 51 minutes. You just scroll back up here. Vanessa, you're going to have to be more specific. Do I have any messages from a male for you, please? If you could be more specific, that would be great. I'm not getting anything specifically from that. But I would love to bring spirit through for you. Samantha, is there a way to tell if a person has passed? I do not have a relationship with my mother, but would like to know if she's still living on this plane. So if it is in your best interest, Samantha, to know, then the answer is yes. There are obviously other ways to find out. You can obviously look up in obituaries and death records and things like that. I think that is probably something I would do to verify. From what I sense, I feel as though she's still here in this physical plane. That is what I am picking up on. Sometimes, guys, that can be inaccurate because our soul is present regardless, and there are different aspects that have to come through. So sometimes it's very easy for me to tell, and sometimes it's not so easy for me to tell. And often that depends on, it can depend on so many things. From what I sense, I feel that she is still in a heavy frequency and here in this plane. Okay. Sometimes we pick on energies that are the same relationship type energy. So like a motherly energy, when it's actually not the biological mother. Okay. So that's why it can often be hard for a reader to determine that. But from what I'm picking up on right now, I'm getting, yes, she is still in this world. Okay. And I hope that helps you. Let's see, Vanessa, I will scroll down and see if you have anything more specific you want to know. For these free online reading, guys, sometimes I need that stuff. Sometimes I don't. We did reverse readings last week. It really depends. Every soul, every reading is different. It depends on your energy and my energy. Let's see here. I'm trying to get through as many people as I can before we get off here. And don't forget, guys, thank you for all your wonderful comments. Even though I can't comment because I mess up the algorithm after these lives on pages that are not mine, I will still see the comments, and I want to thank you guys so much for participating. Okay. It means so much. I really appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Oh, will life get easier with the burden of my disabled brother? I don't mean this in a bad way. Yeah. So lose the self-judgment, Catherine. There's nothing in a bad way there at all. That is a perfectly reasonable question. Okay. I have cared for people, and it is exceedingly difficult. Especially the more you love them, the harder it can be. Right. So what I'm getting is, wow, you've got so many angels around you, Catherine, helping you out right now. So many. They're helping you out. And I'm getting that there are aspects of this that are going to get easier, and there's aspects that are not going to get easier. Okay. The aspects that are going to get easier is, you're going to make some discoveries, and you're going to find some ways to create systems for what you're doing. You're going to be learning about the time that you need to yourself, that you need off, and you're going to learn a way to organize that and set up a system and bring in some other help, is what I'm seeing. So in that way, things will get easier for you. You're also going to learn emotionally to get out of his lane, so that you're not so attached to, so that your identity and sense of well-being and self-judgment is not going to be so attached to everything having to do with your brother. Okay, which is exceedingly important. It doesn't mean that you love him any less, but you are an individual that also needs to also be able to maintain a life and be functional and be healthy and happy. Okay, so everything does not have to be about him. And that is something you're going to have to discover in the next 6 months or so. Okay, so it will get easier in the fact that you are going to reach a few points that you find. You might even say, wow, Larkin was wrong. That is not true, because you're going to hit a few stumbling blocks that are going to help you. Remember, obstacles are opportunities. Okay. So you're going to hit a few points that are going to make things seem more difficult for you. And then you're going to be able to, from that, use those mistakes and those lessons and take yourself to the next level. Okay. So that you are able to make things easier and smoother for yourself. Remember, it's about holding space and love. And that also means that you have to be as functional as you can. Okay. So don't allow this to eat you up. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in order to support and help your brother. Okay. And I do see that if you use those obstacles as opportunities, you're going to make something way better out of this situation, and it will get easier for you. Okay. So just hang in there, Catherine. Great question. I'm so glad you were here today. Let's see. Do we have our friend up here who wanted to ask about her male friend? I don't see her. Hi, Pia. Welcome. All right. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Kirsty. I'm glad you found the notifications. Okay. Yes, you've nailed it on the head. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, Spirit nailed it on the head. Go, Spirit. All right. So keep me posted and just hang in there, please. All right. Bye, Rye. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see here. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a process. Don't forget, Rye. It's a process. Let's see here, guys. We got 3 minutes left. Hi, Angie, and welcome. Will I find love this year? Let's see. Well, I see 2 to 3. One is kind of iffy. 2 to 3 energies around you, Angie. Here is the thing that Spirit has for you. Okay. There are a couple things that is kind of holding your relationship at bay right now, a relationship that shifts, excuse me, that you need to be making internally in order for love to come into your life in the way that you are wanting. Okay. The love that you are wanting. And you have to make those shifts. So the only thing that is actually holding your relationship at bay right now is you. There's a couple things. And I'm having a side conversation with Spirit. I'm asking, well, what are those things? We only got 1 minute left. So I'm trying to spit this out here. A couple of them are personal things, little habits that are internal. You have internal reasons for that happen when you are very close and with someone in close quarters every day. In order for you to have the type of relationship that you want, like a serious relationship with someone, these shifts need to be changed. Okay. And they're internal shifts, and your spirit guides are telling me you should know what these are. Okay. The other thing is they're showing me, the second thing is your expectation for what love is. it's I don't like to use the word realistic, but it's sort of outside. They're showing me, your spirit guides are showing me, is outside of a realistic framework. In other words, you've had opportunities, and there are opportunities right there in your energy field, but you're not recognizing them, they're showing me, because of what you think love looks like for you. And so you need to open up. You need to be willing to think and see things in the opposite way that you do right now, and allow yourself to be present in a different way, and maybe look at things that you think are, no, that's not relationship material, in a different light, because they're telling me you actually miss opportunities because of this perspective. When that shifts, yes, love is going to come just flowing into your life beautifully, and actually in better ways than you imagined. Okay. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep talking and listening to your spirit guides so they can encourage you with these shifts that need to be made, so that you can be receptive for that energy that's right there. Okay. Guys, I love you all so much. I'll be back here at the same time tomorrow, and I'll have my force cards. Don't forget, if you would like to connect with me further, or you would like to meet your spirit guides, or you would like to be a part of the angel party that I'm having on the 16th, all of these events are pinned to the top of my Larkin Psychic Medium page, which is on this little banner down here. Okay. Veronica also has amazing readers doing more free live readings all week long. Make sure to catch up with them if you're wanting more online readings. And hopefully you'll all join me again tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Thank you for all your questions and all your patience. Mwah. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.